Hi guys, so far I want to do a quick recap to what you need to know so far. The Golden Age comics started around 1930s to 50s with debuts like Superman, Batman, Captain America, and more. Then the Silver Age was when Marvel went banger after banger in the 60s, while DC did some crossovers with the Golden Age characters. And then the Bronze Age took comics by storm when they decided to bring in that mature Darking Age in the 70s and 80s. Now we reach the modern age, and in different videos I'm going to break down the decades little by little, starting with the 80s, because the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s, and the 2020s are considered different years that changed comics. So, let's get to it. So here's what's interesting about half of the 80s. DC Comics kind of played a huge role while Marvel had a couple of good runs. So after the event that was Crisis on Infinite Earths, DC Comics used that event as a setup, a reboot to the DC Universe, starting with The Man of Steel, who was written by John Byrne at that time. However, Superman issue 423 was somewhat of a popular storyline and somewhat of a final story of the Silver Age of Superman written by Alan Moore. Now, Moore is a well-known writer in the 80s who famously wrote a comic book called Watchmen, and sooner or later do another comic book like V for Vendetta and The Killing Joke. And in 1988. In 1998, he also did Swamp Thing run as well. Back to DC reboot launch, 1987 saw some new takes of the characters like George Perez's Wonder Woman line, John Byrne's Superman, and Frank Miller's Batman Year One. Issue 404. Alongside new team books like Suicide Squad and Justice League International. While Green Arrow had a story called The Longbow Hunters before getting a new comic book run in 1988. Now, Frank did, in fact, wrote a Batman comic in 1986, which is an Elseworld story called Dark Knight Returns. He even did a Daredevil run as well, and one of his famous storylines from that run was Daredevil Born Again. The only thing in 1988 that happened was the time fans did not like a new Robin character named Jason Todd. And so in Batman issue 426 was the issue that became a famous storyline for Batman. In 1989, DC Comics had two different Batman stories, such as Grant Morrison's Batman Arkham and Gotham by Gaslight, another Elseworld story that was written by Brian Oxenden. Now, as for Marvel, unfortunately, the only comics I know of that happened in 1987 was the Spider-Man wedding and Iron Man story arc called Armor Wars that starts in issue 225. But my pearl about the 80s of comic books were that DC kind of wins this because they started a new relaunch that has great comics for new readers to read. It also is where Batman had been very big on popularity as well. While Marvel has some good stuff too. There's nothing much I can say about the cons, but whatever. Okay, so for my recommendation on where to find some of these comics, you got Marvel Epic line that has Iron Man Armor Wars story. Daredevil Born Again has its own novel, but however, Marvel announced a new reprint line called Marvel Premiere, and Born Again is one of those reprints you can buy in Feb. For DC Finance has so far reprinted Batman Year One, Green Arrow, and the Suicide Squad will get theirs sometime this year, while other DC comics are just regular books. However, there is this cheapest book line called DC Compact, where they have Watchmen and V as well. And I think that is it for this video. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye! If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe, share, like, ring the notification bell, and check out other videos on my channel as well. And that would be it for this video. Thank you. Bye!